Please welcome Janet Cronstedt, Senior Vice President, Sales and Marketing.
I don't know about you, but I've been listening to some stories lately. And the stories that I'm hearing, certainly not the ones in this room, but some of the stories that I'm hearing from some of the people in my life, at the barbecues I attend, at the church meetings that I attend, and some of the stories don't really sound to me like too many people that we know and love are feeling the attraction, in the action, and having a lot of fun. Would you agree? So let's just listen to a few of those stories. Let's just kind of hear what they sound like.
I drink too much. I exercise too little. I'm 35 pounds overweight. I have high cholesterol. I've already had heart surgery, and my father died relatively young from a heart attack. And I have 4 young children. I don't feel I'm doing a good job anywhere. Home, work, family, self. I'm so overwhelmed. I accomplish all these things. I have 1,000 people in my organization, but I've lost my spirituality. Enough is never enough. I feel unappreciated and taken for granted. My spouse doesn't understand the magnitude of my workload. Work consumes all of my energy. My career threatens the most sacred part of my life. I wish that I could have morning coffee on the deck with my wife. I've completely lost my passion. I don't feel anything anymore. I just don't.
If you had to put those stories into a category, I would put them into a category of 3 words. And those words would be fat, tired, and broke. Would you agree? Absolutely. Think about where you've been lately that you've heard those stories. Listen to me. Your story is your life. Your life is your story. And it is the most important story that you will ever tell. And you have one chance to do it in your lifetime. And if you're human, if you're anything like me, who's shaking like a leaf, you can probably tell, we tell ourselves stories all the time. Positive stories, negative stories. When you tell yourself enough stories, they become what? They become your reality. Because we believe the stories. So that said, at 50 years old, I realized my story needed some major editing. But before I could edit the story, I had to identify it. Listen to me. Today is the beginning of a new chapter in your life. What if 1,258 people in this place went out of here with a changed story? Ask yourself this question before you leave here tomorrow. In what area of your life are you clear that you can't achieve your goals with the story that you've got? Where is that for you? Let's just lighten up a bit about story. It's everywhere. Your body tells a story, doesn't it? The smile on your face tells a story, or the frown. Whether you are walking with your shoulders back in confidence, or whether you're slumped over saying, man, this business has really changed my life. It's really a great business. The product's really good. Yeah. Or do you walk into a room and you say, hi, how are you today? What's going on in your world? Because your mind is off yourself and it's on other people. What stories are they telling you? I have to give you just a quick little one, and that was so powerful for me. Everybody remember 4th of July this past week? Yeah? It sort of seems like it was last year. But anyway, I went to a barbecue on the 4th of July. And I walked into that barbecue, and many of the people that were there I haven't seen in years. And I walked into the room, and it was just a fun day, and lots of people were there. And throughout the course of the day, you know, people were like, "Oh my gosh, how much weight have you lost? Wow, you look really different. You look happy." Sorry, Bob, husband of 38 years, I've always been happy. Anyway, but you know what? Something happens, and it is about our product magic, because it does more than just take the weight off. You walk bouncier. You smile bigger. Your shoulders are back. You're telling a story. Listen to me. What story are you telling? What story are you telling non-verbally? What story are you telling with your eyes? Do they have a sparkle? Are they attracting people? Because it's coming from within. Faulty thinking leads to negative consequences. And it was funny, because I was thinking about the fact that we're in this world of health and all these physicians who are so smart, and I'm so grateful because I'm so not. And I'm learning so much from them. Wasn't doctor's panel yesterday unbelievable? Something I noticed in that doctor's panel is all of their stories were different because they're different. Every single one of those was a different story, different person. But I was kind of sitting there, I was thinking to myself, you know, when we talk about the trilogy and we talk about our body, mind, and finances, I was thinking about this connection. What happens to the body with a diet of high fat and high cholesterol? Arteries get clogged, right? This is a fancier name for it, but like I said, I don't know what that word is. But I know it's clogged arteries, hardening of the arteries. The same thing happens in your mind when you feed your mind unhealthy stories. Your perception gets clogged. Hardening of the arteries, hardening of the mind due to stories. Unhealthy storytelling leads to negative consequences. Let me play some of the stories that I heard at the barbecue that I went to, because I was listening. You know, I hear what you're saying, Janet. You know, exercise is probably a good thing, but you know, I don't have time to exercise. You know, I work a full-time job. I've put on all my weight because I turned 50. And you know what happens when you're 50. I mean, forget it. I'm not giving up the wine, so I'm gonna be fat, okay? If I exercise during lunch at work, what would people think of me? Might they think of me as less productive? That I'm not getting the job done because I'm not eating lunch at my desk like everybody else in my workplace? You know, I would exercise in the morning, but if I did, I wouldn't get enough sleep, and then I'd be tired, and that wouldn't serve my family well because I'd be grouchy. And you know, I would exercise when I got home from work at night, but that would take time away from my family, who I love and who I've been gone from all day. Guys, we are great at this, are we not? We're so good at it. It's time, thanks to the tools that are wonderful. Dr. A's book, The Habits of Health, and now the companion guide. I don't know about you, but 26 weeks through that book changed my life. I thought when I got to chapter 26, whew, it's good. And then I thought, oh, there's something called Ultra Health? Oh, wow, whole new chapter. But you know what? The book was a turning point. The book was a chance to rewrite your story. I'm not even going to ask for a show of hands. Have you read the book? But you know what? That's great. Applaud yourselves. Excellent. For those of you who have read it, read it again with the companion guide. For those of you who haven't read it, get to it. Because let me tell you something. That's where turning points come from. They're called breakthroughs. They're a matter of choice. Dr. Anderson had a breakthrough when he left critical care and said, I critically care. I'm gonna lead a health revolution, business evolution. He saw where we would be, right? In his mind. Breakthrough.